Street.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas.
All children are being butchered. This is what's happening to children in your culture.
It happens to children everywhere. But you don't put these images in the face of children who are trying to study math and science.
They need to see it.
You don't do this. They can see it at an appropriate time.
I need to see it, ma'am.
You can see it at an appropriate time.
Every time is appropriate when children are being massacred, ma'am.
Not when they're going to school.
Yes, ma'am. These children are old enough to murder their children.
They absolutely are, but not in school.
Yes, ma'am. This is a place of education.
That's right. We don't teach them to do this in school.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't show them this. You're trying to hide it from them. Stop hiding the truth, ma'am. This is what happens to children.
We're not doing this in our school. We're not doing abortions in our school. We're teaching math and science in the school.
Your students are teaching them.
We're teaching community involvement in this school.
Your students are murdering their children, ma'am.
Do you have proof of that? Do you have proof that any one child in my school murdered anything? You have no proof of that. How dare you stand here and say
students at high schools. Students at high schools are murdering their children surgically and chemically, ma'am. They're murdering their children surgically and chemically, yes.
They're not doing it in our school. You have no business saying this.
Yes, I do, ma'am. It's happening in every high school. Mothers are on hormonal birth control and their children are dying.
You know what? Birth control is for not just for this. Okay, it
I didn't
doesn't
say
abort
it was.
babies. You know what birth control does?
I didn't say it was, ma'am.
Hormonal birth control regulates menses. That's what hormonal birth control does. It keeps girls from bleeding 18 days a month. That's what hormonal birth control
And
does.
children die through it, ma'am.
No children died for a birth control pill. You're totally ignorant.
Little boys and girls die through birth control,
Little boys and
ma'am.
girls didn't die from a birth control pill. You're so
They
ignorant. Why
do.
don't you go to school and take a science class
I did,
and
ma'am.
learn how hormonal birth control works?
I have learned,
Because
ma'am.
you have no idea.
Yes, I do, ma'am. I've studied it.
No, you haven't studied how birth control pills work.
I actually
You're
have,
totally
ma'am.
ignorant.
I actually have, ma'am. And you're trying to hide the truth of the Holocaust,
I'm not
ma'am.
trying to hide it. Are you kidding
Yes, you are,
me?
ma'am.
Are
Yes,
you
you are.
kidding me? My kid just did a 17-page paper on the Holocaust. And
So why would you
Holocaust
hide this
and
Holocaust?
termination of pregnancy are not the same thing. You are so disillusioned.
If you don't believe that, ma'am, but there's a Holocaust occurring on your watch in this country.
There is no Holocaust happening at Downers Grove North.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is, man. Children are being murdered down the road here in Downers Grove. It's part of the Holocaust, and you're trying to hide it.
It's not a Holocaust, okay? It has nothing to do with
That's why you're hiding the truth, because you're in denial of this Holocaust.
I'm not in denial of anything except that these kids want to go to school and think about exams.
This is what happens to children every day in your culture. Every day.
This is not God's work, okay? You are not doing God's work. You
Neither
are not
ma'am.
doing God's work.
You're not, man.
Are you kidding me?
Are you a Christian, ma'am?
Have a great time, everybody!
While children being massacred.
Happy Christmas to you! Happy Christmas to you! Happy Christmas to you! Happy Christmas to you! Happy Christmas to you!
This is what happens to children every day in your culture. Every day.
Not happening at Downers Grove North.
Children are being murdered here,
Downers
ma'am.
Grove North is a positive community. We love
Positive when children being butchered to
we love our
death.
teachers, and we love our community. We don't need your totally skewed pictures in front of our children.
So what are they learning here? What are they learning?
What am I learning? My kids are learning about European history, American history, languages, music,
Look what's happening to
culture.
children
They're not
in your
looking at
culture.
this disgusting stuff.
They should
They're
be.
learning about life.
They should be.
They're learning about biology. They're learning their sciences.
Look what's happening to children in your community. And they're trying to hide it from you.
Nobody's hiding anything.
You're
Our
hiding this,
teachers
man.
at Downers Grove North
You're hiding
are
this.
positive.
Positive encouraging
We
while
are
children being butchered
positively
to death.
north at Downers Grove North.
Positive while children are being butchered to death.
Yeah, we don't show this junk.
I know you do. You're trying to hide it.
We're not hiding anything. Hiding nothing.
What?
Have a great day, everybody.
Have a great day while children are being butchered to death. That's a great day while children are being butchered to
Nobody's
death.
being butchered at Downers Grove North.
Yes.
No one's being
They're
butchered
being
at North.
butchered down the road.
That's not where we go to school. We don't go to school down the Grove Road. We go
I'm saying it's
right
being
here.
happening down the road on 75th.
Our children aren't at 75th. They're right here, buddy.
say they were, ma'am.
They're right here.
But they may be going
the
down
word
there.
is God is good. Downers Grove North is a great community, and you are just following us up.
It's not great when children are being butchered to
They're
death.
not being butchered here.
Children are dying through birth control.
They're not dying through birth control.
they are,
You are
ma'am.
so misguided.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are, ma'am.
You have no idea about gynecology, do you?
I've studied birth control, ma'am.
Oh, I'm glad you studied birth control. You don't know about birth control and how the human body works.
You're assuming that, ma'am. You're assuming that.
Why? Oh, you got a medical degree?
I don't need a medical degree to understand how it works.
I studied birth control. I'm going to write that one down.
So are you?
Birth control.
Have a great day. Happy birthday again.
I have studied it, ma'am.
Happy Wednesday.
Yeah, why are you blocking my access on the sidewalk?
I'm not blocking your access to the sidewalk. You have free reign of the sidewalk.
Not to show the sign.
No, you don't get to show the sign. That's not access to a sidewalk.
So you're hindering
Just leave it in the
so you're hindering my free speech.
No, I'm not hindering your free speech. Talk all you like. Just throw out the dirt. This would be great. Thanks.
Yeah, you're hindering my free speech.
I didn't hinder anything.
You hindered our signs. That is hindering free speech.
You can show your signs. This is our school, okay? Children do not need this vision before they go to school.
In your opinion?
In my opinion, they're 14-year-old kids here.
And they
I've
could,
got a
and they're
14-year-old
old enough to
daughter
murder
here.
children.
She's old enough to murder children, but she doesn't murder children, and neither do the
How
other
do you know that?
2,100 students here.
She's using birth control. Maybe your grandchildren are dying.
My grandchildren aren't dying from birth control.
How do you know
No
that?
children die from birth control.
Yes, they
How
do,
do I
ma'am.
know that? Because I'm a gynecologist. I know how it works.
Well, they need to study a little bit more because children are dying to birth control.
Children at North aren't dying from birth control
Little
pills.
children are dying to birth
No,
control.
they're not.
Yes, they are, ma'am.
No, they're not.
And they're early stages of
There
life.
is no conception using a birth control pill. No conception ever happened.
It does take place, ma'am.
No.
Children
No
they
conception
cannot implant. They
happens.
cannot implant in the uterus.
No,
It makes it in hospital for them. They cannot live in the uterus.
No.
They can't live
Birth
there.
control makes the egg not fertilizable.
Not always. Not always. Children are
always
conceived through birth control. I've studied it.
Sure, but some children get conceived. I totally get that.
Yeah, they're
I completely
once
get
they're conceived, that's a human life.
Sure it is, but that's not a birth control pill.
Yeah, it
And
is.
what do you want, a room? I mean, I think what you want to discuss with kids is reasonable time to be having intercourse and reproducing.
Well, once they're married. Once they're married.
Absolutely, I fully support that.
And they're not doing that. They're having sex before marriage.
Of course, yeah, but you're not going to change it by showing this sign.
You assume that, ma'am.
No, the sign doesn't keep kids from having sex.
It keeps children from being murdered. I know that for a fact.
It doesn't keep kids from having sex, and that needs to be your message.
It can. If they come talk to us, if they see.
Your message needs to be about conception, not about this.
Why?
This is horrible.
It is
Because
horrible when you do
kids,
something about it.
But this isn't how these kids are. You just leave it in the dirt. You can have conversations with kids, but don't. You can just leave it right there. Thanks.
Right here, okay.
You don't need to do this to kids before they go to school.
I think we do. They need to be educated about this Holocaust.
Then have a conversation. They're not stupid.
I'll have conversations with them.
Have a conversation, but don't show them these images before they go to school.
They need to see it.
No, they don't need to see this. There's kids in here, kids who are super conservative Christians, super conservative Muslims, super conservative Jews. They're not having any kind of sex.
You're assuming that a lot of professing Christians have sex.
No. I know these kids aren't all having sex. Have you not?
I didn't say that, but I say a lot of professing Christians today are having sex.
Of course they are. A lot of people are having sex. Look, our TVs are so messed up. These kids are seeing stuff.
I watched TV for so many years.
It's
I know.
so messed up. You probably grew up on Brady Bunch. There was no sex going on there. Davy Jones kissed March's face, right? But today kids are getting exposed to that stuff so early.
I was exposed to it myself.
Well, I wasn't. I grew up in Brady Bunch and nothing. The worst.
I grew up on that a lot worse.
In what?
I grew up on that and a lot worse.
Yeah, I didn't.
What I'm saying
Brady Bunch
is,
wasn't worse. I'm just saying it was an innocent time. Our times are so skewed beyond that.
I know.
But this
is part of that skewing.
For sure, but this just polarizes people. If you want to get in the side of these kids and their heart and their soul, then talk to them about intelligence. Don't show them this stuff.
I think I wish they had shown this to me because I was old enough to handle this when I was 15, 16, 17.
My girls aren't.
Or 14.
My kids aren't.
I wish I had seen it.
My kids can't handle this.
You don't think they're strong enough to handle it?
Oh my God.
Maybe they rise up and be a voice for these children.
My kid right now just did a 17-page paper on the Holocaust.
Yeah. So they need to understand there's a Holocaust in their culture.
They get it. But
do they though?
Yeah.
In their culture? That this is happening?
Of course they do. I told you I'm a gynecologist.
What are they doing about this Holocaust?
What are my children doing about it? Yeah. They're virgins. They're not sleeping around.
Well, I mean, that's something you can do personally, but what are they doing to expose abortion, to abolish abortion? Because we can...
This just polarizes people. It makes you guys look like idiots. It makes people like me, who are just going to go drop our kids off and go have some scrambled eggs, polarizes me because it's horrific. I get that it's horrific. I totally get that.
So why are you trying to hide it?
I'm not trying to hide it. I
You
counsel
were. You were hiding it with your blanket.
I'm hiding the image because these kids...
That's hiding the truth.
No, it's not hiding the truth. I counsel teenage girls every day about this very thing.
Okay.
That's what I do.
They need to see us if they're considering murdering their children.
These
save children's lives.
You can't show this to high school kids before they have to go in and... My kid has to sit a French exam today. Yeah. She's not going to be able to get this image out of her head.
Maybe she shouldn't be able to. Maybe we need to be so disturbed by this that we take action. Right?
This action just polarizes people. Don't you guys get it?
I get that it makes people mad, but we need to be stirred up to do something about this evil.
Then we need to talk to them like the intelligent kids they are.
We talk to people.
And intercourse is a choice.
It is. And we talk to them about that.
This doesn't deter them from that choice. What we need to teach them is, before you get hot and bothered, before you get to, are we taking our jeans off or not, you need to think that this could be a consequence of that. Mm-hmm. But you can't do this to kids. Well, they came here today. I don't know what you do for a living. Mm-hmm. But if somebody came and showed you this kind of stuff these kids are going to go in here and have to spend 8 hours a day meeting expectations of 8 different adults that has nothing to do with this.
I know. Because I went to public high school. I know.
Sure.
I know. I've been there.
They're 14. They don't have the development to...
Well, you're assuming that. I think they do. Because you have 14-year-olds who
will not be able to get this image out of their head.
And maybe they'll see
my kids aren't sleeping around. Okay.
Well, I'm not saying they are, but what I am saying is that there are kids at high schools at that age that they have a sense of justice. And they can understand what happened to this. What's happening to this?
This is not the right place.
Well, we hear that everywhere we go.
These are the right kids, but this is not the right place.
I think it's the perfect place because at a high school where there may be children here who are going to go to an abortion mill in the near future.
Sure, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, maybe somebody already has an appointment.
And maybe a child was saved today because they saw these images.
Maybe you could save 100. By having a real conversation, not by...
I doubt it.
Why? You have so little faith in your conviction that you think you couldn't save 100?
No, well, I'm saying I'll do all of that. I have conversations with people. I've been doing that for years, and here, a lot of students will see these images, and maybe a child was saved this morning. Maybe more than one child was saved this morning, because they see these images like, wait a minute, that I was considering an abortion. I was considering murdering my child. But that's what that looks like, that these are actually children, and then they change their minds. And these images are horrific, I know. I don't like looking at them.
I don't either, but I don't disagree with your argument. I don't disagree with your method, except my kids need to go to school. They're in there worried about who's going to come in with a bomb or a gun, and can I pass my French exam?
Well, they can see we're not dangerous.
What?
They can see we're not dangerous.
What's not?
They can see we're not dangerous.
It's not about the danger. It's about this image stuck in their brain, and now they can't even concentrate on what's today on their list of things to concentrate. And if you want to meet people, you got to meet kids where they are. I can show you 100. I can show you car accidents all day long. Is it going to keep kids from texting?
It might. I mean, and this is much worse because we're intentionally murdering children, and maybe they have a sense of justice. Everyone has a sense of justice.
I understand your message. I understand your compassion for it. I'm just disturbed that you did this to kids before they're trying to sit their exams. You have no heart. You really have no heart. If you really care about unborn children, then take care of the kids who are alive and help them with a positive message.
These children are alive. They were alive before they were murdered.
I have 2,100 students in this school who really didn't need that today to help them.
Are you the principal or a teacher?
I'm a parent. I have 2 kids.
Oh, I thought you said you had 21, so I didn't know.
These are my kids. I live in this community. Okay. These are all my kids. Every single one of them. I would die for any one of them. I would counsel any one of them. I do this every day. I do every day.
Well, but don't hinder those who are trying to work.
This is not the right. I didn't try to hinder you from your message.
Yeah, y'all did. You're blocking the message.
This is horrible for children to see. You shouldn't do this to kids on their school.
Are you a Christian, ma'am?
Yes, I am, and you should not do that to kids on their school day.
Well, I just think...
They just did a whole Christmas program singing songs from
from Islam, singing songs from
Islam.
Jewish faith, and singing songs from the Christian faith to celebrate peace and the God's love in this world.
But how can we
That's
have
what they
peace
just
with this
did
going
last
on?
night.
How can we have peace with child sacrifice running rampant in our culture? We cannot have peace with child sacrifice, ma'am. We cannot have peace with child sacrifice, ma'am. We have to end this injustice, or God will destroy this nation from the face of the earth. There can be no peace with child sacrifice, ma'am. There can't. We cannot have peace with child sacrifice, ma'am.